Yes.
So Gatin, you can tell about yourself and introduce yourself.
Sure. So thank you for having me first of all. So myself Gatin, Devrel at 0G. So I'm into blockchain space for the past 3 years. I started out with full stack blockchain development. Then I turned out to be a scholar at multiple protocols. I was an open source freelancer and contributor. So after that, I participated in more than 15 plus hackathons, attended 20 plus conferences, hosted and been a speaker at 4 to 5 international events. So recent one was at Tokyo. After that, I was at Singapore. Now I'm doing an all India roadshow, and I'm here at Hyderabad doing this podcast. So feel free. I'm open to the more questions.
Okay. If somebody is very new into college,
okay,
and they want to get into this blockchain development, so what are the programming languages, the basic programming languages?
Okay.
They need to cover from the basic to the advanced level.
Sure. So for the people who are in college, I'm still in college though. I started out coding when I was 17. So I'm doing a full-time role, and I'm also attending my college. For the past 3 years in my university, I'm from Chennai, Anna University. So I'm in my 4th year. But still from my first year, I started open source contribution, and I'm developing over time. So when I started is the same roadmap that I would suggest, because I learned from people who actually did by attending meetups. So even I didn't do anything on my own. I got feedback from people who have already worked in this field and have the expertise. So the one thing that I would suggest is full stack development first. Have the basics and fundamentals strong. Even though if you would like to go in the stream of the hype of AI and blockchain. So but whatever it is, fundamentals first is what I would suggest. So the first thing is full stack Web3 basic development, that is understanding of how blockchain works. What is the difference between a normal Web2 server based between a blockchain based. So for the full stack development, I would like you to start with full stack HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the front end, and having it more advanced level, I would suggest you to learn React and Next.js, which why I prefer, I'll just tell you later. Then for interaction with the backend, that is the smart contracts, I would suggest VM-WAGMI or Ether.js. For the backend, it's Solidity for the smart contracts, and Hardhat and Truffle for smart contract management. So that is the complete full stack that I would suggest you to get started learning.
Okay. So as you're working on this Web3 applications, so how this Web3 differ from Web2?
Okay.
So you can explain.
So Web2 applications, it's like completely server and client based. So you, the only thing about the reason why Web3 is better than Web2, if you want to say in a single line, Web2 is controlled by centralized organization. For example, you're depositing an amount to a bank. You don't know what the bank does with your amount. You are not sure what the interest rates are going to be. You don't know whether you are being paid or whether your data is being stolen. If you have your data submitted, even if it's like centralized store, whatever the data that you submit in centralized stores, you don't know whether they're manipulating it or they're stealing it. Any closed source organization that you're using on a day-to-day basis, Instagram, Facebook, any account, any organization that you use, it's completely closed source. So Web3, what it does is it completely decentralized. You own your data and you know who's interacting with it, and that is a public, it's transparent. But whereas in Web2 it is closed source. That is one simple example that I could give, but I can jump in if you want to go in specific in any.
Okay.